TomoChain is a scalable blockchain powered via proof-of-stake voting consensus and used commercially by companies globally. TomoChain achieves 2000 TPS, 2-second block time, and near zero gas fees without compromising decentralization. TomoChain's mainnet was launched in December 2018 and has been focusing on building decentralized finance products, including those to help you build your own DEX, create anonymous transactions to protect your privacy, or deploy your own token within just minutes. Our mission is to accelerate the onboarding of millions of users by empowering today's applications with technology that masks the friction of blockchain, all while retaining its underlying benefits. The TomoChain blockchain and its product ecosystem allow businesses to build high-performance, feature-rich projects to support speed, privacy, usability, and liquidity. For more information, please visit our website at tomochain.com.
Hi everyone, Kin from TomoChain here, and welcome to a brand new series where we're going to be interviewing influential individuals in the blockchain space about current and future trends. So today we have John Wang from Neo Ecosystem Growth of Neo Blockchain to discuss China's regulation system today, how it's impacting China's blockchain development, and what we can kind of expect from it in the future. So John, welcome to our brand new show. I'm really happy to have you here. And it looks like you also have a guest that I'm pretty familiar with as well. Tell us about yourselves.
Hi again. I think I can do some like a brief introduction about me and my colleague, Nicole. So, I'm currently responsible for the Neo Ecosystem Growth team, and for our department is actually the main job is actually to use the Neo's resource to support the project, and which is wanted to developing something in the Neo's mainnet, and also we are start lots of collaboration with different enterprise institutions in the global. And also, like, I want to introduce Nicole, and Nicole actually is working in our department, and we have a community in the VNet, and currently Nicole is talking us with the VNet's the university, the institution, and so I think he also is the right person to join this interview.
Let's start off with some of the questions that have been coming in. Currently last year, President Xi announced tremendous support for blockchain. We've seen this coming out of China before with AI, with 5G, tremendous support, government-style support from top down for these different industries. Now, when we think about blockchain, there are different definitions that everyone thinks about. But the key question is, since the announcement, how exactly is that impacting the blockchain space in China? What areas is the government focusing to develop? And how exactly is that going to impact China's industry in blockchain this year and kind of moving forward?
The President Xi is mentioned we call it ABCD. So A is for the AI, and B is for blockchain, C is for the cloud, and D is for the data. So in China, like, we do have a 5-year plan. Every 5 years, like, the government will set their plan, and so we are really glad like the blockchain can be the part of it, and also now we are called ABCD is actually called new infrastructure. So it means in the future the Chinese government gonna be spend lots of the effort and the resource into these areas. The Chinese government may use blockchain technology to help the different industry and can become more efficiency, like the IoT, like the financial, and so on. So I think that the good news for all the people is currently is working in the blockchain industry. If you come to China and if you're talking with the young people, they definitely know what is Bitcoin. And even ask my mom, and she also knows what is Bitcoin. So I really can feel something is changing. But I think Bitcoin is some other token is not everything for the blockchain. And if this industry wanted to grow faster, it's definitely needed infrastructure. And it's definitely needed to be known by more and more people. For the blockchain and for the president, she mentioned in the last year is a good news in China. And it also provide us lots of the opportunities in the future. And we are also talking with different Chinese enterprise, even some big name in China, and they are also looking for like how actually the blockchain can working with them.
Do you think that, when it comes to looking at blockchain, right, are we looking at more of an enterprise smart city type of focus? Is that kind of the idea, more industry-wide, looking at how you can integrate blockchain with IoT, with AI, kind of at this very high, broad level, all of these synergies together? Is it really is it that focused?
Yeah, so actually, honestly, I think in China, it's still like the token is currently is not in the scope. I mean, in the government scope. So we are spending more time is talking about the blockchain technology, and also like you mentioned, the smart city. So China actually in the last I think 5 years, they spend a lot of the time and effort on building the smart city. So we are also is currently talking very big company in China, and they are focused on the smart city. So what we do is like we wanted to provide our solution to them, and then when they provide the smart cities solution to the different areas, they also can integrate the blockchain solution in it.
Got it. And why do you think that the Chinese government is interested in using blockchain technology for this specific purpose? Where do you see the benefits of it?
So actually for the blockchain, it's definitely this technology is a new technology, and it definitely can increase the efficiency for the lot of the industry. Like before, what I know is last time I talked with Huawei, and they provided the blockchain solution to the Beijing governments. And what they do is like they record everyone's the information into blockchain. In Chinese, the different department actually they run the different system. So for example, for the PlayStation, like they record the part of the information, and maybe for the tax department, they record another information. So if they wanted to connect the information together, they need to have some approval. But the information can be recorded in blockchain. So it means actually they don't need to spend that much time to go the process, but actually they can just, because the blockchain's data can cost how permissionless. So actually it will be highly increase the efficiency for the different departments working together. Is I think for the central government, they want to know the information directly.
So what we're looking at is one thing is adding efficiency, so allowing different government agencies to be able to make decisions quickly through the use of blockchain, and so everyone can also have a direct view into what each agency is doing for that decision-making process. And then the second thing is sort of working more on the financial system in terms of being able to have eyes on where transactions are taking place from the central government's perspective. When we think about the regulations and policies that China is bringing out with respect to blockchain as well as the DCEP, how is this impacting NEO's decisions in terms of your development strategy, your business strategy? How has it impacted that? What are you exactly focusing on right now?
So the good news for us is like have lots of the talents, including the developer, including the people is working in the traditional enterprise. They are looking for find opportunity in the blockchain. For the currently in the China, like even for the young people, they have very good education. They're already thinking like the Bitcoin and the crypto and the blockchain solution is a really cool thing, and they think the Bitcoin is the asset. So I think for the next generation, even not next for the young people, like currently in the 20, 22, 25, you're still in the university, they are quite okay with Bitcoin.
So how does NEO see the blockchain space evolving for itself kind of over time? You had a pretty interesting announcement just the other day about the Interwork Alliance with Microsoft, Accenture, and others. You're also doing a new upgrade, I think, to your blockchain. So can you give us a little more information about how NEO is looking at the blockchain space overall and moving forward with what you're doing?
Okay, so I still believe like if the blockchain world wanted to grow in, it has to be to connect with currently the traditional world. So like if the blockchain wanted to connect with the real world, it means it needed the standard, it needed the tool that's easy to be used. So that's why we are become the founding member for the Interwork Alliance. So we do have an office in the Seattle, the NGD Seattle office in there, and the leader of the NGD Seattle is John D, and he is currently responsible for the tool design in the Interwork Alliance. And for that to it's gonna be have the different enterprise to design the token more easier, and they are also building the standard that it can be used in the different the system. We hope in the future the new technology can be used by the enterprise and it can accept the mass adoption.
The thing is having a standard in any industry, especially upcoming industries like blockchain, if you don't have that set in place where everyone agrees to it, it can be harder for overall adoption. So this is entirely focused on enterprise. So when we think about Neo 3, the development of your new Neo 3 update, is that kind of plugging into this whole enterprise focus area?
Maybe the public blockchain, maybe the mainnet is not what they are really looking for right now. It's not their first priority, but actually they also want to use they also want to have some the blockchain solution. So if for the public blockchain, we talked with them directly and asked them, I invite them to use the public blockchain. I think it actually is quite hard for both of us to integrate. So the easy way for us is we provide some solution that they are currently looking for, and even they can use our solution to build in their alien chain. So and after that, use the cross-chain solution. It can connect the public blockchain with their alien chain. So that's how we're planning to do for the business.
That's very interesting. Even in our experience working with enterprises, what we've noticed is that there is there's sometimes a concern about using public blockchain from the get-go. There's a certain sense of security when it comes to being able to, or a sense of security when it comes to being able to control it a little bit more in a private environment. But the idea is a number of them are starting to consider public blockchain. So it's sort of that transition. How do we then transition from private to public, or should we just consider public to begin with? And these are the kinds of conversations that we're also having as well with the enterprises in our space too. So one of the community questions we have is, what is NEO's plan to expand into the Vietnam market?
When we co-hosted the workshop and meetup last year, NEO and TomoChain, so there's a community member found us to say that we want to help you to develop Vietnamese Vietnam community. I think, yeah, that's great. That's great for us, because during the talk, I found them the full of energy, full of ambition, and full of sophisticated thought on how to develop a Vietnamese community. Yes, or even some universities. So we talk with the Van Long University in Vietnam. I think it's in Hanoi, and also RMIT Vietnam campus. So we are trying to find a way to teach those students in these universities, can help them to know what is blockchain, what is NEO, and how to develop smart contract, how to develop the apps. And I also do believe like TomoChain is going to be growing as a global project. So at this stage, like I think actually we definitely can working together. I don't believe like even in the world in the future it's going to be have one part of blockchain. I don't believe that. So the same as like we use Douyin, and you guys may use TikTok, or maybe use some other like the apps. So we hope like we actually can working with the TomoChain team and the explore and to do the discussing about the cross-chain solution and developing it together. And the best way for us and for the Vietnam market, for the Vietnam community, is actually we can growing together.
It's a great point. I mean, when we first met almost a year back, I mean, that was kind of the starting point of our entire discussion between TomoChain and NEO, is about being able to collaborate. The space is very small right now. Overall, blockchain space is very small. Collaboration is a great way for us to help to grow the overall space, as well as to grow each individual project by working together. Even TomoChain, we don't believe that there's only going to be one chain out there. Each chain has its own advantages, as you mentioned, and working together to be able to accentuate those advantages in order to grow the overall market makes a lot of sense. So are there any future collaborations between Tomo and NEO? Both of our communities have been asking about that. So I thought maybe John or Nicor, you guys could talk a little bit more about that.
Where I think the cross-chain is also a very hot topic right now. So our technical team can discussing the cross-chain solution together, and to explore like how actually the NEO apps and the TomoChain apps can use the cross-chain solution to connect.
Absolutely. I think we've been talking about working together on this cross-chain solution so that our blockchains can speak with one another for quite some time now. And so we are doing, kind of our engineering teams are both talking and exploring those options. I think it's going to be great for both of us in that way. Interoperability has been one of those discussions that we've seen across the industry for the last couple of years. But it's been great to catch up with both of you. And I really appreciate the fact that you came and joined us today on this very first edition of our brand new series. I'm looking forward to doing a lot more with you, and looking forward to all the news that's coming out of NEO. So thanks again for joining us, guys.
Thanks for your time, and also I expect to come to Vietnam this year. I really like this country, really like, yeah.
Well, we can't wait to welcome you. We really can't wait to welcome you again. Thanks again, guys. Have a great time.
Okay, thanks.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.